but I do see people taking what you said, which is very balanced and fair, and doing what social media does, which is take it in one direction or the other.
Sure, sure. And if people are looking for controversy, they can find it anywhere. you know,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but in the end of the day, I don't hate what Scorsese did. And he did do a good representation of Osage people.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hope that this sets a standard because, like, I don't think you need to be indigenous to represent a people
Mm-hmm.
that is indigenous. You just need to work with those people and listen to them and do what they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that. And that's something I did say, but I said he did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that, you
Yeah.
know. But her people heard he's not Osage, and they ran with it. People will hear half of what you say. They will understand half of that. They will only agree with half of that, and then they'll only remember half of that. So out of like the 2 minutes, the almost 2 minutes of statement that I made, there are only people who are going to remember a 16th of what I said,
Mm-hmm.
and their whole opinions are going to be taken just from that. And I know that. I know that this is uh, not made for us.
Mm-hmm.
It is made about us, but it was made for the world to view. And that the way, the direction the story went, that is a way to tell this story.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is one of those films, like, you don't feel good after you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those makes you feel kind of sick inside. And uh I sat with that for a while.
I think if you read this movie a certain way, it's like you, the audience who are watching this, you are culpable in this violence, and you try to act nice.
Yeah, and it's so timely. It's so timely right now.
Mm-hmm.
We can look at the world as a whole and we'll go, this is the most, like, safe time to be a human and human existence. But at the same time, we have these terrible events happening overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Indigenous people across the globe being exploited, and then everything going on in Palestine and Israel, and
Mm-hmm.
they're shooting missiles at each other, and
And we're culpable in that because we
yeah,
are saying I stand with this or that.
yeah. So this is like it's kind of a timely release when you start to look at it beyond our Osage people. Even though this is the history, this really happened to the Osage people, we see that these things, these events, still happen today.
That, like, it's interesting to me because like it's hard to tell when people are disagreeing with what the filmmakers added and versus when they are agreeing or disagreeing with how the real story played out, right? And this is where it gets tricky because I know, like, in speaking to DiCaprio and Lily Gladstone, they were both like, we can't figure out this relationship either, because it's like you talk to Mollie and Ernest's like descendants, or Mollie's descendants, and they're like they insisted that there was love there, which is what Leo says that they were struggling to reconcile with. Like, how could he do that, right?
I don't know if somebody was injecting me with poison, and slowly killing me for financial gain. I would feel taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
I would feel lied to. And I think in the end, with Molly divorcing Ernest, that must have been what she felt. She probably did love him. She probably trusted him.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, it's all out in the open. So how do you tell that?
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know, maybe it's just my own work with therapy. Go to therapy, work your stuff out. It's good for you. but but like with my own work, it's just like, abuse is not love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, there are good things that can exist at the same time, but you just, at the end of the day, you have to say abuse is not love.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
there's a couple of things that could happen that I think would really be good. Lily Gladstone will win, you know, an Oscar or the Academy, the Academy, one of those awards, and she'll be able to greenlight, projects
Mhm.
or shoot them down. That will create, you know, more agency and representation, especially for Indigenous voices. And the other thing I think that would be really good is Osages just hail back to where they come from. There's a renaissance or a revival, if you will, with our people, and they'll want to do things like it'll become relevant and cool to be Osage. And I hope people will finally start to have those conversations that revolve around healing, because so often, even to this day, when it comes to uh, our history that revolves around traumatic events and our culture, it is very common for people to say we don't talk about that.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, David Grand wrote his book. It's out there. And then Martin Scorsese makes this film. All of a sudden, that what we've been avoiding is now like right there out in the open, and everybody can see it, and everybody has an opinion on it.
Mhm.
So hopefully, this becomes an opportunity for us to have those hard conversations and to heal over from something that happened over 100 years ago.